What is up, guys? This is another episode. I think this is going to be episode 2 of my showcase mods. If you've already seen my Yamato Village video, welcome back. If you've not, welcome to Haxley Mods. I do mod building for Palworld. I build aesthetic functional bases that are just cool to be in. This is showcase number 2. This is what we call Platos del Sol. This is fun. This is not the rock behind me. This is just going to be kind of an entry thing. This spot is going to be built on the water, and the only way there is going to be to fly. I haven't seen any way to get on top of these platforms without flying, so do not attempt to get over here without the flying mount. So without further ado, here is Platos del Sol. This is a completely different building aesthetic than Yamato. Yamato was very wooden, mountains, woods, a lot of green. And this is not. This is kind of on the water. Now, the intended way to get here is a runway. That is over here, so that is how we are going to enter the town. Platos del Sol. This is a very self-contained base. You can pretty much do everything here. There is no farm. It is intended for production and selling to merchants, but you'll see that in a second. Here's our runway to get in here, and this is the main building of Platos. And this did come after Yamato, as I stated before. Yamato was my original, very first round building mechanic. This is where I went after that to try and do some out of the box stuff and try something new. As you can see, the roof here isn't actually a roof. This is actually a ceiling lamp that is 150 times scale. Now, this actually really inspired this whole place. Yeah, you'll see, because of the light right in here that also stretched, this really turned into something special. So without further ado, let's go ahead in here and check this out. Of course, just like my other places, this is not 100% finished, but this is what this is where we are. This is the main courtyard situation of Platos. This is sort of set up like a mall. We wanted to build a really cool open floor plan in this. This is the original spot where I implemented the built-in storage, and I've carried that over into some of my other bases also, because I find that it is just so functional and centrally located that you really can't beat it. Over here, let's start over here. Okay. We have my entire merchant set up. There's a merchant for everything here. We've got legs armaments. This is, of course, arms dealer. You buy and sell all your ammo here. The new multi-climate undershirt, ring of mercy, some additional blueprints, things like that. This is Roger's grocery. This is where he set up after he stopped being a shrubber. Yep, you can get all your stuff over here. Specifically, this guy is in here to make sure that you've got access to high quality pal oil off the grid over here, and you've got your little pal shop over here. Of course, these are all viewing cages, so you can pick up and put down any merchant you want whenever you want, and of course rename the shop, so you do whatever you like here. This is where I did one of my very favorite things. So I stood up my very first carpet here. This carpet specifically, and the other carpets, they don't have collision, so you can go through them. As you can see, you can totally run through them. But this carpet specifically, the antique carpet? Yeah, the antique carpet has no mesh. It's got no texture on the other side, so it's like a two-way mirror. From this side, can't see it at all because this side of the model has no texture, but the other side does. So that is a hidden room. I love it. It's my favorite. Everything back here is just for visuals. Built up their countertops. I actually shrunk a table. You can see it clipping out through the bottom there. I was able to lower a table so it looks like he had wares right in front of him on the countertop there. Stretch some reception windows here. Get some receipts or whatever you do at these merchant windows here. I use this opportunity to go with all kinds of different shapes and stretches, and you can definitely see the differences from Yamato Village here. Because all of my stuff is aesthetic, we've got a cool little seating area here. You're gonna find that in a lot of my places there are a lot of spots that are just views for views. So I've got this big balcony out here for no other reason than to just be out here. It is definitely good for the blood pressure to just come out here, check it out, look at some waves, you know what I mean? Oh, the water. Feeling better already. Alright, we're going to come back in here. We're going to wait to go over here. This is the kitchen I'm working on. This is the gold saucer. Still working on this. I've been changing the aesthetic of the bar, but I've got a little ramp back here so that you stand up higher when you're serving people their goods. Some shrunken flasks here to make it look like some alcohol dispenser. This is my serving counter. The pals do come over here and eat. This is where they get their main source of food. So it's pretty cool to watch them run over to the counter and eat when they do. I extended this out and made the balcony the kitchen. Built this stuff in here. I got some smoke going on above the kitchen there. Put a cooking pot on top of the stove. The fire looks a little weird, but if you don't fixate on it, it actually works. And then got some stoves over here. It's all about the views, man. It's all about the views. Come over here. This is your prep area that I built. Got your little mill over here. I shrunk down one of these cabinets to look like a spice cabinet. So they look like oils and spices and stuff up here. Also, I put the flour in there when it's done. This is just here aesthetically. But I mean, who would not want to cook right there? I mean, I couldn't think of a better place to cut up a carrot. Alright. So let's keep going. This is the zone in for Platos. And of course my PAL box. We got a relaxing little seating area here. We're going to keep going around the rim here. Here's our PAL research area. We've got some research setup, some research storage hanging out. We got a statue on both sides for function, condenser right in the middle. We got it right this time. In the Yamato video we called this a condensator. So you know what, we might just stick with that. This here is a condensator. Alright. That's where we skish our pals into better pals. And I keep on going. I have started to extend, but have not fully finished setting up my ideas for what's going to go on up here. So this spot right here is actually the only unfinished platform in the area. Got to add some trees because no trees is not good. Alright, I'm going to come back over here. I had a lot of fun with this area. Stretched some metal foundation to get, you know, some metal bars up there. Stretch cauldrons. Not cauldron, what is that? Not the furnace, what is that? Oh, yeah, it is a flame cauldron. Right. Yeah, so we got some flame cauldrons in there, even in the small one. I put some metal defensive walls to block the top. I thought it looked cool. It looked like a vent for the top of the furnace there. So that's going on. Added in some bracing for the top there. I'm still working on it, but I've tried to make the piping come out, and I've put some hot tubs at the top of the pipes to look like smokestacks. It looks like it's supposed to at night, but during the day it looks a little rough, so I'm trying and figure out what to do about that. Make that look a little better. Alright. So we got Ifrit's Cauldron here. Another awesome little seating area, because let's be honest, man, this whole place is all about 360 views. The more sitting, the better. Here is a little crafting kiosk. I like these crafting tables, but I do not like the vanilla size of them, because they are like 3 full blocks long. But if you squish them and change their scale, you'll notice that the things you make, their icon that goes across is the same size. So even if you change the size of the table itself, the size of the model that goes across this belt is always the same. It always looks like it's supposed to. And in my opinion, really comes through looking pretty cool. Even though they're small, they are looking really, really good. So that being said, that's all that we got here. Crafting tables, repair tables. We do have stone processing here, although I don't have a full-fledged stone processing. That's kind of to your flavor if you decide you want more of that here. But Yamato is actually my main actual play base, so I have more functional production facilities at Yamato than I do at Platos. So that is the full border. I really got into the swing of stretching and doing architectural overlaps and stuff here, as you'll see when I show you the top platform here. I love this platform. Took me forever for some reason. This is where I started adding in little tiny details. This is actually an iron stool. These were all open-ended concrete pipes, and I didn't like that you could see down into them. They were hollow because, of course, they're pipes. So if you look down in there, you just see, you know, the light that I have hidden in it, and it doesn't look good. So I was able to figure out that these caps look really nice, and if you follow them around the top, they look like rivets through the bottom as well. So definitely a double win there. So let's go up and see what we got here. All these piping here is earthen pipe, just scaled small and stretched long. There's a lot of angle work, heights, numbers, keeping up with angles and stuff. It's a lot easier than people are going to think it is. You really only have a few numbers that you have to keep up with, being like 90-degree angles, 45-degree angles, 180, etc. You know what I mean? Very, very basic, readily available numbers that basically anybody can use their calculator on their computer to keep up with. So let's go up here and check out what we got. I stretched out a fountain up here. It's one of my favorite things. It comes out of the center pillar there. So the whole top seating area up here is just top dollar relaxation. We'll keep on going. Right, we got a little piano bar down here at the end. This is one of my favorite spots in this place. Just relaxing up here. It was really, really fun to build up here, but really tedious, as you can see, the placement for everything. It's only as frustrating as you make it, really. Alright, so let's check out what Orzark is going to do. Because he's going to the big building first, all you're really going to be able to see is the pathing work I've done and proof of concept that he does actually go all the way up to the third story of this building, do his power business, and then he comes back down. No one gets stuck, no one clips, no one falls off the edge into the water, even though it's built entirely out in open water. I'm hoping he'll run to another building real quick because yeah, it's generating electricity. So he's going to be going to one of these other buildings, and as you can see, I have the power generators built into the top of the lid there. So whenever he generates electricity, the top of the building sparks. That's just a little detail that I really enjoyed myself. So next area, I think we're going to pop back over here because it's a dead end over here. We're going to run back by the golden saucer. I put these walls in here and angled them so that it looked like a door that had been opened. I did it once just to see what it would look like and found that it looked pretty cool. The problem is some of the other doorways in this place are just missing a door because a door didn't look right there. And I'm not sure if this is going to be an all or nothing type of design. It doesn't make sense that some of these openings can close and some of them can't. Visually, see, I've got a door on that doorway also, but not here and not the runway. So I'm not sure if it makes sense that some doors close and some doors open. Coming out this way, we're going to go over open water platform. I love this about this place. Whenever you're running from one area to another, in here, of course, you get open water. You get the wave ambient soundtrack, which is really nice. You know, you're just hanging out here and here's like wind and waves. Got us a nice big tree, so we've got some greenery out here on the water. We have a nice Moroccan little hot springs area for the pals to relax in, because there's no farming here and you make most of your money through production. They definitely rest a lot because they're going to be working. If you keep going down, you reach the dead end that is the pal bedroom here. I did not shrink any of the beds here. I kept them all full size. I haven't fully finished this room, but what I found when I got this far was I need to find something cool because this already looks really, really clean and nice that I just need to like put down like some rugs. What looks like kindergarten nap time in here or something. It just looks really, really clean. I found that there wasn't a whole lot else I needed to do here. This whole platform just came together really, really quickly. And they sleep in here just fine. They path in, they path out. Even Jormuntide and Alpha Jormuntide can move around here. They don't fall off the pathways. It is possible for pals to fall off the pathways here, but I find that the faster the pals move, the more likely they may clip through the rail or the side and fall in. But they aren't tall enough to clip right over the railing, which is really nice. So that's the pal bedroom. There's also a generator at the top of this one and the top of that building. So this place is mostly run on white light. You can't see it really well in here because it's still midday. But this place lights up really nice at night. And unlike Yamato, there's not firelight here really. This is mostly white light from electricity. So I needed to make sure that I had enough generators for the power to last through my extended night cycle. So now we're going to come down here to the main bypass off of the main building here. And this is the breeding building, and this is player housing. So we're going to go down here, we're going to check out the player building. Everything in here is self-contained and usable. Everything is functional. Just like a Yamato, everything in here does work, but we typically use the restaurant facility in the main building. But as you can see, my wife is a decorating beast. That girl knows how to make a house a home, I'll tell you what. Everything looks really, really nice here. This little partition here in the middle was her idea. I didn't even, I wasn't really sure how to break up this space and make it usable, but she really figured this out. Of course, you get cool views of the rest of the town here. I like that this place is not as big as some of my other places, but just as functional. It is a different play style. You know, you're not farming stuff, plants, and cooking food. You can, but the whole point technically here is like nail manufacturing cheese. You're gonna make stuff. You're gonna sell it to the vendor. You're gonna buy your ingredients and cook your food that way. But I was thinking, this platform up here that's not yet finished. I was thinking about building a little silo platform on the backside there that operates like Yamato's farm does, where it just produces food and drops it down. And just like the other place, I did that open door here, and this is the player housing view. I mean, that is pretty lit. It's nice to be able to see all kinds of different stuff just while idly running around crafting and condensing materials and moving stuff around. I do find that it is really nice to have cool areas just to exist and move around in. Alright, so now we're going to go this way. This is the breeding tower. This was the first time using Rotated that I built a fully customized ramp, and as you saw with Orzark earlier, the collision on this works perfectly. They go all the way up, they go around, they go all the way up, they go around. They can go all the way up, they can come all the way down, nothing clips. It works wonderfully. So we're going to go check this out. I've been mulling around the idea of how to make really cool aesthetic hatcheries. My wife had the idea of a Jurassic Park style aesthetic, and this was the first round fix of that. It's not finished and it's not fully decorated, but this is the Platos del Sol hatching wall, and it comes of course with its own extra egg storage there. Get all that taken care of pretty good. I think there's 40 something egg hatchers here. This is where I built my Bushi army. I have 20 perfect 100 stat Bushis with specific abilities that are all 4-starred that I used to do the Bellinor fight. She cannot beat the highest tier one, but my Bushi army definitely took out the first one and the second one. No problem. They got the hardest level one about halfway down, but unfortunately their stats just aren't cutting it. Then we got our staircase up. Of course, it's all about the views. Got stuff just hanging out doing their thing. He's gonna come over here to generate some electricity. He's gonna run by us. There he goes. I'm gonna follow him up here. Alright, I'm still working on the lighting here, as you can see, but the views here are just, it's great. It's nice to have so much water. It's a really big difference from all the trees and land and cliffs and stuff that's just happening all over the place. It is unfortunate that you don't really have the ability to perform this kind of build without rotate it, um, like out on the water, up in the air and stuff like that. But it is what it is. We'll see what Sakurajima brings us. So let's go on in. As you can see, I still have one of my pieces of structure here, because I built this place using a different kind of tile. It doesn't want to drop rugs down on it, so I put down a piece of foundation so that I could put down rugs and move them around. I went with red rugs and green rugs in here because, as I showed in the main building, the anti-carpet doesn't have collision. So if I had that down, you'd be able to see it from here. But if you were to look up from the bottom, um, it would just be glass. You would just be able to see everything all the way through. And where that seems cool, it was kind of disorienting. I did go through and I capped all the pipes all around the base. Um, yeah, I explained it was hollow and it looked really bad, but that just really made it look clean. So I appreciate the little bit of extra work that it takes to do this stuff. But as you can see, you can't fall through or anything. You can run against the rail all the way up. Totally safe. My wife doesn't like to run on high up railing like this, without any kind of protection. She gets kind of vertigo, from the frame rate and stuff. So I made sure that, pals and players, no matter what, you can't. There's no way to run off anywhere. You're totally protected on all edges within the bases I make. And here we go. Here's the top room, with the giant ceiling light that I like to use, here specifically. And what I did when I built these frames, I built the entire metal frame first. I put down one frame and then I picked a number angle and I just copied that to make my circle. Then I would put, of course, the stone foundation in the middle to make the floor. I was able to push all those back. Now the bottom of the entire base looked really janky because of that, because it was all just blocks and stuff. So what I was able to do, is I took these lamps and doubled up on them and faced them the opposite direction to make bottom platform caps. It really cleaned it up a lot, and it made it look a lot cleaner. As you can see, some of these foundations can look a little, a little less polished than you'd like to, but I was able to keep all the metal framing on the outside, all the foundations within the metal, and then cap the bottom, so it really did clean it up. It's like putting a nice seam on it. Now this place is definitely smaller than Yamato, but it's not a main production base, and it is completely self-contained. It's more of a destination than it is, a main base, but I wouldn't blame anybody for wanting to have this as their main base. It's really, really nice to be here. Just like Yamato, I found that it's nice just to have cool stuff to look at and to exist around. I do like to go out in the field. I like to fight bosses. I like to, farm materials and loot and recipes and legendary schematics and stuff like that. But I find that all of that is more enjoyable if I have a cool home base or a hub or some kind of city or something to, some kind of hub to move in and out of. So that's the main inspiration for making these as it is. It's a cool game. There are a lot of cool places to be, but it's not colonized. There's like, all the towns are, they're put together with sheet metal and guillotines. There's not a whole lot of really nice things that are built to look at while you're running around in the game. So that is the inspiration for start excuse me, for starting these different builds. Um, this one had a lot more little detail work than Yamato did. Um, Everything is scaled and squished and stretched, and it's a little more architectural. It's definitely more modern here. You can see that some of my building isn't perfectly aligned yet. So the poles need work. So what I'll do when I do stuff like this is I'll take a piece that I know is attached to a structure, like like this roof piece I know is attached to this wall, and that's of course has a snap to grid. So what I'll do is I'll come over to the rotation, and I'll apply the rotation to this guy, and then I'll back it up a little bit and make sure everything lines up properly, and then I'll do the same for the other, but it's really just polish work. um, you can see I'm trying to work on some awnings for the big tower there, because I find that just the big smooth outside wasn't looking too good with the staircases on the side there. So this is Platos, as you can see, and as I've stated, this is mostly for aesthetics. Um, it would take a little bit more work to try to make this a main base, because it's all production and selling, and it's a lot of money upkeep. Great hub, but if you're trying to do like I do at Yamato and have um, a fully functioning, self-contained kind of unit, I'm gonna have to add a little bit of facilities here, farm stuff like that. Alright, so this is Platos. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you enjoy my building. As I stated in my Yamato video, if the Sakurajima update doesn't break all this work, what I'll do is I plan on doing an episodic format where I go through and explain what I did, how I did it, and how I achieved different results using different items. And hopefully with Sakurajima we'll be getting some new items to use. These are all base items other than the foundation pieces, which are part of Cowboy's building material swap out mod. Alright, we're going to do our flyabout here, and we are going to call this a video. Thank you so much for joining me out here at Platos. God bless. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time when I show the new version of Palathin. Thanks for joining.